We are over at Springhouse Gardens with Richard Weber. Okay, so heat of the summer, and we're in the shade.
I like being in the shade.
Absolutely.
On these hot summer days.
So what have we got here?
Well, this is one of our favorite southeastern native plants. Can you tell by looking at those leaves what it might be? You're a nature lover.
This kind of reminds me of a wild hydrangea.
Kind of, but it's a buckeye.
Oh, okay.
This is a shrub form of the buckeye. This is called a bottlebrush buckeye. Do you know why it might be called bottlebrush buckeye? That's exactly right. It gets these really awesome white flowers that pop up. They're just starting to come out now, but they're going to be starting in anytime in June through about the middle of July. You'll see these flowers starting to rise, and they'll sometimes get 2 feet tall, full of white flowers that look just like a big old bottle brush.
Huh.
It's a really, really cool Native American plant for shade, typically, like where we are now. But the interesting thing about some of these natives is if you plant them in the full sun, they'll act completely different than if they're in the shade. So when you plant a bottlebrush buckeye in the shade, it will get way taller, can get up to about 12 to 15 feet tall. It forms a gigantic clump over time, and it just is great for that kind of out-of-the-way background, because you got to give these babies room to grow, because it's naturally a suckering shrub.
Okay.
But not to the point that it's going to take over the world. But plant in the shade, it gets that tall. If you plant it in the full sun, it'll stay about 5 to 6 feet tall and stay much more condensed and contained. You'll still get flowers on both of them. It looks completely different in those two locations, and it's exactly the same plant. So it's a pretty cool, very adaptable native. I tend to like it in the shade because so many things don't grow. A lot of things don't give you color. This will give you that beautiful white. I always say it's like fireworks in the 4th of July because it's usually blooming with that big white, almost looks like sparkler.
Yeah, I love that.
So it's a really fun midsummer shrub, and it's very, very easy once you get it started. So plant it with lots of organic matter, lots of great compost or pine soil conditioner, something like that, in well-drained soil. It's not one of these plants that likes it wet. So woodsy soil, well-drained, shade, or sun, your pick. So come and look for bottlebrush buckeyes. Now you might be surprised that it's a native and it's a little pricey because they're very hard to find and they're a little slower to propagate. But we have been able to keep the price down on these guys, and we are even offering them in smaller sizes. So it's an affordable, and they grow pretty fast. So don't be discouraged by trying to buy a big one at a big price. Start with a small one and they grow pretty fast. So anyway, we've got lots of these plus more to come out and see here at Springhouse Gardens. We're out in Nicholasville, just over the Jessamine County line at 185 West Catnip Hill Road. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, all those good things. So come out and see us.